Hey YouTube, welcome to Garden and Alicia Land with your gal Alicia Ann. In today's video, I'm going to go over 10 things that I am learning about gardening this year, doing the gardening myself, watching the garden TV show on YouTube, and throughout the people that I talk to about gardening in my everyday life. So give me a minute and I will go over I'll go over number one. So thing number one to know that I'm learning about gardening is there really isn't such a thing as a black thumb or a green thumb. It really just depends on the amount of information and experience that you have in the garden in order to be a successful gardener. Thing number two, in order to grow anything in a garden or a flower bed or a butterfly garden or just plants in a pot, you don't actually have to know anything. All you need to do is just get started and the rest will come. So you don't have to get it right. If there's something that I want to learn, of course I can go to YouTube and search it and look up the information under some of my favorite YouTube creators. I can go to the store or to the library and get books on gardening. I can also go to Google and search and find out. So I don't have to get it right. So that's awesome, which means you don't have to get it right either if you are worried, if you're wanting to garden and what's stopping you is you are worried about not getting it right. You don't have to get it right. Just start. Thing number three that I'm learning about gardening is that the plants don't care where they live. They only care about the conditions that they live in. If there's enough sunlight, if there's enough moisture, do they have enough nutrients? Is the soil the right type of soil? So plants don't care. Thing number four that I'm learning is plants don't know if you're an expert or a beginning gardener. So you shouldn't let that stop you from trying to grow all different kinds of varieties of plants. Okay. Thing number five is you might want to define your why. Why do you want to garden? Why do you want to become the gardener that you want to become? Is it a hobby? Is it a job? Are you a trial and error type of person like I am here on this channel? Is it because you want something to take your mind off of other things, which is kind of another reason why I do it. And then set garden goals if you want to. Like Black Gumbo, Southern Gardening did. He did that single seed challenge. You can do some type of challenge for yourself. I never even knew about a challenge until I watched actually Down Home Backyard Gardening and Scott Head's Black Gumbo Gardening, Southern Garden on YouTube. See, I didn't even know about that. Number six, the number six thing that I'm learning, and I kind of already knew, but the garden does need pollinators. So get you some plants that pollinate for the butterflies and that use plants for the insects, the butterflies, and the bees to come in to go pollinate the other vegetables if you're doing a vegetable garden and stuff like that. Number 7, be present in your garden. You know, you have to take care of a kid if you're a mom and be present in their life. You have to take care of your animals and be present in their lives. Well, the garden is no exception. Just because some things take a really long time to go from seed to harvest, or seedling to harvest, or whatever you want to call it, you still have to be present. That way, you're able to notice the things that are going on in your plants, like pests and diseases that cropping up. Look at your plants. Do they look like they're weak, or are they doing good and thriving? Do they look like they have some deficiencies in them? You know, in the beginning of March, when we had that little cold spell, I lost my single seed challenge and my tiny Texas tomatoes and everything because I didn't take the time to go do what I guess you would call it a plant mama should have done, and brought her plants in when I was in the hardening them off stage. But be present. Pay attention to what's going on in your garden. And because if you're not, then it's going to be too late, like it was for me. Become a plant expert by doing things like taking notes down, you know, things like what's happening when pests come in, what's happening to the plants when they're getting attacked by these pests. What were the conditions like when they got attacked? Also, when diseases happen, you know, what symptoms do the plants have? What did you do to deal with it? Like what I did when this is not the pest thing, but when I neglected my baby plants, and I forgot to bring them in and I lost them, you know, they died. And I haven't redone that seed challenge yet, but I do have a seed that I'm going to plant. I just got to go record that video for you. And then, you know, that way you have data and information to become the gardening expert in your field. You'll never actually be an expert, but you'll have the experience under your belt, the knowledge of, you know, what works well for your area, what doesn't work well, what the conditions were like, when the timing's right, what should I do to bring them in or leave them out. And then after putting all that data in a notebook or a journal or whatever you want to call it, then you will have things to look back on over the years. So that was number 8. So next on the list is, so the 9th thing that I'm learning is, in order to, you know, be a plant mama, a garden mama, or whatever you want to call it, you do not, or in order to be a gardener, you don't need to start out big unless you want to. You just start. You can start by seed, or you can start by seed starts, or you can whatever else you do to start your plants off right, to learn. So that was the 9th thing, and then the 10th thing is coming up. So thing number 10 about, what did I call this again? I don't remember. That I'm learning about gardening is you get to decide what works best for my garden. You get to decide what works best for your garden. And then if I want more information, like I said, I think earlier, you can go to the people you watch on YouTube. You can get books. You can either buy them or go check them out at the library. And just remember that everything that you watch on YouTube and that you read in books is just an option. You don't know unless you actually start to garden what's going to actually work for your area. So until you know what's best for your area, just do it. Get up and start, and the trial and error thing with gardening. So with that said, like always, peace out, baby. Love you. Bye.